right. Welcome to Tai Chi. So, right hand, fist, power. Left hand, fingers together, representing friendship, tucking in the thumb, representing humility. Fist into the palm, and welcome. I'll get that for you, Jay. Oh, you got it? All right. Beautiful. Yeah, if you set it on the chair, usually it slides back, right? Here. I think if we set it like right here. There you go. Does that work? Okay. So, standing in the Wuji position, feet shoulder hip distance apart. Nice, gentle bend in the knees. I'm making sure my microphone's on. I'm rolling. Nice, gentle bend in the knees, tucking in the tailbone. Heads lifted by the silk thread. We're going to breathe from the belly. All right? Let's begin. Inhale the hands up. And exhale, relax the hands down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Push the hands in front of us next. Inhale to the heart and exhale. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, relax the hands down. Inhale and exhale, nice and gentle. Inhale and exhale. Make sure you're standing up nice and straight and tall. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Arms over the head next. Inhale to the heart and exhale. Inhale 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 and exhale. Arms to the side. Inhale to the heart. And exhale. Push out on the palms, up on the fingers. Feel the stretch in the arms. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time to the side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So let's pause for just a moment. So a way you can enhance this, you do not have to do this, but a way to make it a little better, instead of just reaching out with a hand like this, reach out where you're pushing out on the palm and the fingers are up. And when you do that, you feel a nice stretch through your whole arm. All right? So your arm is out there anyway. Might as well work on a little bit of extra stretch. And it might, there's been no research to say this, but sometimes that rigidity you feel with Parkinson's, it may help relieve some of that, right? So let's do that one more time. So inhale to the heart and then exhale. Push out on the palms, fingers are up. Feel that stretch in the arm. And then inhale and exhale. Beautiful. So if you do that with each one of the breathing exercises, like the first one where we do this, so you're not just holding the hands like this, but holding the hands like this, you can feel that stretch run up the arm. Okay? So with that in mind, diagonals. Inhale to the heart. Left hand up, right hand down, exhale. And then we inhale to the heart, right hand up, left hand down, exhale. Keep looking straight ahead. Inhale and exhale. Keep looking straight ahead. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale back to the heart. Exhale, relax the hands down. Flap the arms like bird wings. Big, deep belly breath in. And long, slow breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to give a big hug because I forgot that one. So inhale the arms up. Keep inhaling the arms open. Exhale, pushing the hands together. Keep exhaling as you float the hands down. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. All right, last breathing exercise, gathering chi. Make sure you're standing up nice and straight and tall. Big, deep belly breath in. And then exhale, floating the hands down. Nice and slow. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And there you go. That's our deep breathing exercises. All right? Heard you had a little sickness last week. Yeah, no, that's been going around. So that deep breathing might help something like that, right? It's a really good way, especially like I've known. There was a gentleman. He did not have Parkinson's, but he was in an adult living facility, and he had that raspy cough. And his first time he had done Tai Chi, and we did breathing. And actually, I do more breathing there than what I do here. But when he was doing the breathing, he started. His wife was with him and had like a little cup for the sputum and a towel. And so as he did the breathing, he started coughing up all that sputum. By the time we were done breathing, he no longer had that raspy cough. It was clear. And the wife actually came up to me afterwards and she said, "We've been fighting this cough for a long time, but it helped clear that cough up." So it can help with that. So this is cold and flu season. So when you're not feeling well, do more deep breathing. It can help you. Okay. So just something, because a lot of times we think like the opposite. Well, when I get better, I'm going to do deep breathing a little bit more. And you actually want to do it when you're sick is when you want to do it. All right. All right. Wuji position, warm-up exercises, chin tuck to get us started. Floating the hands up, shoulder height. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, looking straight ahead. Hands come out, chin gently floats up, and we sink the chin down to the chest. Again, we float the hands up in front of us. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, keep looking straight ahead. Hands come out, chin gently floats up, and then we sink the chin down to the chest. One more time, floating the hands up in front of us. Hands to the chest, tucking in the chin, looking straight ahead. Hands come out, chin gently floats up, and then we sink the chin down to the chest. Beautiful. Next neck exercise, looking side to side. Prayer hand position. Tai Chi ball, right hand is on top. Watching the left hand going over the left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right. and we come back to center. Now the left hand is on top. Watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. Turn that neck, feel that stretch. Back to center. Right hand's on top. Left hand, left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right. And we come back to center. Left hand is on top. Watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And then we come back to center. One more time. Right hand's on top. Left hand, left shoulder, looking left, pushing down on the right. And then we come back to center. Left hand is on top. Watching the right hand going over the right shoulder, looking right, pushing down on the left. And then we come back to center, back to prayer hands, and relax the hands down. Beautiful. So, question for you. When you put your arm out here, that kind of hurts the shoulder a little bit. If you do palm up, does that make it easier to do? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Try doing it. I don't know if palm up feels better than palm down, but try it palm up and see if it works better. It either does or doesn't, right? All right. Forward shoulder circles next from the Wuji position, bringing the shoulders back and then up. Then forward without leaning forward and down. Keep looking straight ahead. Don't look at the ground. Shoulders back, then up, then forward and down. Make sure you're standing up nice and straight and tall. Shoulders back, then up, then forward and down. Now reverse. Shoulders forward, and then up, then back and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Try and keep the hands down at the sides, shoulders forward, and then up, then back, and down. Beautiful. Gathering chi, reaching for infinity, gently reaching out, reaching up, and then relax the hands down. Gently reaching out, reaching up, and relax the hands down. One more time. Imagine someone is very gently pulling on your wrists. Gently reaching out, reaching up, and relax the hands down. Very nice. Touching heaven and earth. So make sure you're standing up nice and straight and tall. We're lifting the head towards the ceiling like someone is gently pulling on a silk thread, all right? So prayer hand position, left hand up, right hand down, gently stretching the spine. And we come back to center. Right hand up, left hand down, gently stretching the spine. And we come back to center. Left hand up, right hand down, floating the head gently towards the ceiling. And back to center. Right hand up, left hand down, gently stretching the spine. Back to center. One more time. Left up, right down. You guys are doing awesome. Stretching the spine. Keep looking straight ahead. And then back to center. Right hand up, left hand down. Gently stretching the spine. And then we come back to center, back to prayer hands, and relax the hands down. Very nice. Next lower spine exercise as the excitement continues to build. So make sure you keep your hips square to the front. We're turning slightly to the left and then slightly to the right, okay? So like if I'm doing follow on, make sure that you're not turning too far. You want to turn to, as you turn to the left, turn to about 11 o'clock, if you will. And as you turn to the right, turn to about 1 o'clock, all right? So it's a nice, gentle turn. We're not trying to make ourselves into pretzels, all right? And we're turning, we're spinning around the spinal cord, okay? So prayer hand position. Tai Chi ball, left hand is on top. Excuse me, gently turn to the left. Turning the ball over, right hand's on top. Right hand's on top, gently turn to the right. Stay on the right side as you turn the ball over, left hand's on top, gently turn to the left. Now, stay on that left side, turning the ball over, right hand's on top. I'm still on the, what side is that? Left side, right hand is on top, and then gently turn to the right. Now again, stay on that right side, turning the ball over, left hand's on top, gently turn to the left. And then stay on the left side as you turn the ball over, right hand's on top. I haven't started turning yet. And then gently turn to the right. And still one more time, return the ball over, left hand's on top. Think about where your elbow is. You want your elbow just below your shoulder. And then gently turn to the left. And then we turn the ball over, right hand's on top. Try and keep that elbow just below the shoulder as you gently turn to the right. And then we turn the ball over, we come back to center, back to prayer hands. Relax the hands down. Awesome. Go ahead, shake those legs loose. One more exercise before we sit down. All right. So we're going to do a leg strengthening exercise. Make sure you're holding on to your chair, all right? I want everyone to be safe. We're keeping the knee bent, keeping the body straight, all right? So from the Wu-Ji position, weight shifts to the left. Bend in the left knee, right foot, cat stance. Keep that body nice and straight. Tapping right toe to the front, empty. No weight on the right. And cat stance. Tapping right toe to the side, keeping all the weight on the left, no weight on the right. And cat stance. And tapping right toe behind us. Plenty of space between the feet, maybe just on, you're right on the edge. And then cat stance. And then back to Wu-Ji. Same thing, other side, weight shifts to the right, bend in the right knee. Keep that upper body straight, left cat. Tapping left toe to the front, empty. And cat stance. Tapping left toe to the side, empty. Nice. Cat stance, try and keep all the weight on the right. Tapping left toe behind us, empty. Good job. Jim, make sure you have enough space between your feet. Close, like push that back foot a little bit more this way. Then cat stance, and then back to Wu-Ji. Awesome. What I was talking about, you were kind of stepping like this. You want to step more like this, okay? It'll help keep you safe, all right? And I'm not trying to be rude by saying anything. But if I don't tell you, how do you know, right? So, all right, and we're all friends here, right? All right. So let's do that exercise again. Remember, when we're stepping back, keep plenty of space between the feet. Also, one thing that we can do, instead of just kind of sliding the foot forward and sliding it back, actually try to step forward and step back, all right? So we're constantly trying to lift our knee as we're doing this exercise, all right? As we step out and we step back, try and lift that knee. That's ultimately going to help you, okay? It's going to test your balance a little more, but it'll help you, all right? So same thing, just try and lift that knee a little bit as we move forward, sideways, and backwards, all right? Pardon me, weight shifts to the left, right, cat. And then right foot to the front, no weight on the right. And cat stance. Tapping right toe to the side, empty. keeping all the weight on the left. Use your chair if you need to. And then cat stance. Tapping right toe behind us. Make sure you keep plenty of space between your feet. There you go. Cat stance. And then back to Wu Ji. All right, same thing, other side. Good job. Weight shifts to the right, left, cat. Use your chair. Keep that body straight. Keep looking straight ahead. Tapping left toe to the front, empty. And cat stance. Tapping left toe to the side, empty. Keep looking straight ahead. And cat stance. Pardon me. And then tapping left toe behind us. Keeping plenty of space between your feet. Nice. Good job. And cat stance. And then back to Wu Ji. Nice. Nice job. All right. Shake your legs loose. Isn't that a fun exercise? You should just do that the rest of the hour. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's have a seat. Do some seated exercises. I do have a joke for you. I think it's right for your generation. It's like a Tai Chi joke almost, all right? You heard it yesterday, so you have to laugh and pretend like you just heard it and it was awesome and everything, right? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll pay you afterwards for that endorsement. Give me just a second. I meant to look it up before I get in here and I forgot. All right. So you guys all know the show Kung Fu, right? With David Carradine. It was a series it was back in the 70s. And David Carradine's character was called Grasshopper, right? That was his nickname, was Grasshopper. And the person who was teaching him was Master Po, right? So imagine a conversation between Grasshopper and Master Po, right? See, he's laughing already. All right. So Grasshopper asked Master Po, and he says, "Why am I not advancing in my technique, Master?" And the Master says, "Have you ever seen the sunset when the seagulls fly flaming across the plain?" And Grasshopper says, "Yes, Master." And he said, and the Master says, "In the water, from the waterfall, hitting the rock without achieving anything." And Grasshopper says, "Yes, Master." And the Master says, "And the moon reflecting on the calm water." And Grasshopper says, "Yes, Master." And the Master says, "Well, there's your problem. You're watching stupid stuff instead of practicing." That's a good one. And practice does make perfect. So, all right. Sitting up, pardon me, nice and straight and tall, sitting up on the edge of the chair, feet flat on the floor, rocking forward on the pelvis. Head is lifted by the silk thread. We're going to do the hip exercises. Keep the knee above the ankle as we're opening the leg up. Keep the knee above the ankle, okay? So let's turn to the right-hand side of the chair. I'm going to show you hands and feet. Concentrate on the legs first, okay? So, prayer hand position, gently pushing against the imaginary right wall, opening up the left leg. Feel that nice stretch. And we come back to center. Pushing against the right wall, opening up the left leg. Feel that stretch. And we come back to center. One more time. Push against the right wall, opening up the left leg. Feel that nice stretch. And then we come back to center, back to prayer hands. Relax the hands down. Awesome. Turn to the left-hand side of the chair. Same thing, other side. Concentrating on the legs. Prayer hand position. Gently pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg. Feeling that stretch. Good job. And we come back to center. Pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg. Feeling that stretch. And we come back to center. One more time. pushing against the left wall, opening up the right leg. Keep the knee above the ankle when you do this. And then we come back to center. Relax the hands down, turn back to center, and shake those legs loose. Good job. That's the first hip exercise. I thought you had a question. Immediately like, a question? No. Oh, man. All right. Hip exercise. 2 motions. We're going to lift the leg up, push the leg down like you're trying to drive your foot through the floor. All right? So we want to keep our back nice and straight. So as we're lifting the leg up, we're not leaning back, we're not crunching, we're not leaning to the side, but we keep our back and body nice and straight. Also, when we push down, we also keep our body nice and straight. Your tendency is going to try to lean forward, all right? But you want to activate these core muscles, okay? So it will help you when you lift the knee up. Think about you're lifting your head up at the same time. So what you're trying to do is lift your knee as high as you can while keeping the body straight, all right? So yes, you can do this, but can you do this without doing this, right? Okay. So sitting up nice and straight and tall, starting with the left leg, lifting the left leg up, hands are behind us, back and body are staying straight. Good job. And relax. And then hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can. Push, push, push. Keep looking straight ahead and relax. Lifting the left leg up, hands are behind us, pulling the knee to the chest and relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can, trying to drive it through the floor and relax. One more time. Make sure you're looking straight ahead. Don't look at the ground in front of you. Look straight ahead. Lifting the left leg up. Hands are behind us. Back and body stay straight. And relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the left foot, hard as you can. Trying to drive it through the floor. And relax. Beautiful. Same thing, other side. Lifting the right leg up. Hands are behind us. And relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot. Slow, steady pressure. Keep that upper body nice and straight. And relax. Make sure you're sitting up nice and straight and tall. Lifting the right leg up. Hands are behind us. Feel that nice stretch. And relax. Pardon me. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot. Hard as you can. Push, push, push. And relax. Beautiful. One more time. Lifting the right leg up. Hands are behind us. Keeping the back and the body straight. And relax. Hands in front of us, pushing down on the right foot. Trying to drive it through the floor. And relax. Beautiful. Shake those legs loose. Good job. I gotta get some water in me. Mm-hmm. Yes. But you're not, don't try and jerk. It's slow, steady pressure. Almost like you're stepping on a gas pedal trying to floor the car, right? So you're pushing down as hard as you can. So you're not using your hand or anything. You just use your leg. You all right, Jaggy? You need some water? Okay. I can do that. So yeah, you're trying to like drive your foot down through the floor. Okay. What that does is it triggers your glute muscles. It also helps you with bone strength. So that's important. Like women, like postmenopausal women, sometimes, sure, have trouble with bone density, osteopenia, osteoporosis. But it helps everyone, which is important. When you have Parkinson's, you want your bones to be strong, right? And so when you're pushing down, your muscles are clamping around your bone, which kind of squeezes the bone marrow. Does that make sense? Awesome. But it's a great way to trigger the glute muscles from the chair. Okay. So next exercise, heel kick, 4 motions. We're going to lift the leg up, kick the leg out. So in this instance, you push out on the heel, up on the toe, and then you lift the leg back up. Don't forget this one, and then float the foot to the ground. Okay? Don't just drop the foot. You want to float the foot to the ground. All right? Punching out the opposite hand. Again, focus on the legs first. Okay? So, hands loosely gripped at the belt line. We're sitting up, nice and straight and tall. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. And then we pick up the left leg, let it hover there, and then float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out the left fist, opposite hand. Picking up the right leg, let it hover, and then float the foot to the ground. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist, opposite hand. Picking up the left leg, floating the foot to the ground, picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist, opposite hand. Picking up the right leg and floating the foot to the ground. Pause for just 1 second. So as we're kicking left, we're punching right, opposite hand, opposite foot, right? It's the same way when we walk, right? If you think about it, when somebody's walking in a normal walking gait, as they step forward with the left foot, the right hand comes forward. As they step forward with the right foot, the left hand comes forward. So you're kind of mimicking the way someone, a normal walking gait. It also helps work the mind a little bit because you're making one side of your body do this and the other side of your, I'm sorry, I said body. One side of your brain do this and the other side does this. So it's a really good workout for the brain. Okay? So hands loosely gripped at the belt line. We're going to do it 2 more times. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Perfect. Picking up the left leg, let it hover there, and then float the foot to the ground. Nicely done. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out the left fist. Good job. Picking up the right leg, let it hover there, and then float the foot to the ground. Beautiful. 1 more time. Make sure you're sitting up nice and straight and tall. Picking up the left leg, heel kick left, punching out right fist. Good job. Picking up the left leg, let it hover, float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, heel kick right, punching out left fist. And then we pick up the right leg and let it hover, and then float the foot to the ground. Beautiful. Shake those legs loose. Good job, you guys. That's not an easy exercise, is it? You can really feel it work. And we only did it 4 times. And you can feel it work your legs, right? One hint I will give you, when you're done doing the heel kick, come back to this position and then float the foot down. So we're not just doing this, but we're doing this and then this. Okay? Although, what normally happens is when somebody gets tired, they kind of ignore that and they just do that. All right? But maybe it's God's way of telling you, hey, let's work on your leg strength a little bit, right? Okay. Questions about that? Okay. You heard it too? Was that from above or to the side? Oh, there's a storeroom right there. So they may be packing something in. All right. We're going to do a toe kick. Same thing we just did, but now we point the toe forward instead of pointing the toe up. Okay? So we're sitting up nice and straight and tall, hands loosely gripped at the belt line. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg and then floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg, let it hover there, and then float the foot to the ground. Good. 3 more. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right fist. Keep that back nice and straight. Picking up the left leg, let it hover there, float the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out left fist. Picking up the right leg and float the foot to the ground. Make sure you're sitting up nice and straight and tall, kind of rocking forward on that pelvis. 2 more times. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up the left leg, pause, let it hover, floating the foot to the ground. Picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out the left fist. And then picking up the right leg, let it hover, and then float the foot to the ground. One more time. Picking up the left leg, toe kick left, punching out right fist. Picking up that left leg, let that foot hover over the ground, floating the foot down, picking up the right leg, toe kick right, punching out the left fist. And then picking up the right leg, let it hover, and then float the foot to the ground. Beautiful. Shake those legs, Liz. Good job. Feel that on your legs, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it really exercises that. Okay. Okay. This should help that because you're specifically working that flexor as you pick that knee up. That's one reason why I want you to do that because that also helps you when you're walking to also pick your knee up. Because that's a problem that some people with Parkinson's have is they don't pick up exactly. They do the Parkinson shuffle, right? And they don't pick up their feet. So I advise people to use your ears when you walk. So if you hear your foot scuffing, like if you hear your shoes scuffing, like as you go through a door, like door thresholds are really common, or ramps, like going from the parking lot to the sidewalk out here, there's that ramp that goes up. If you hear your feet scuffing, you're probably not picking up your knees. And so that's something to work on. All right. Or if you're going like, if your floor transitions from, tile or hardwood to an area rug or carpet, and you feel or hear your feet scuffing, you're probably not picking up your feet enough. So work on lifting those knees. But this is a good exercise to help you work on lifting your knees up higher, right? Mm-hmm. Sure. But that actually shows that you're probably sliding your feet on the floor, and which is going to get you in trouble at some point, especially like rubber soled shoes on carpeted floors, or like those floors that are highly waxed like that. They kind of grab onto your sole. So work a little bit on lifting your knees when you walk, and that will help you. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and stand if you're able to. All right. Okay. Ankle exercises. These are really important exercises to do. All right. I highly recommend doing this at least once a day. Perfect would be doing it 3 times a day. All right. Make sure you're using your chair. Weight shifts to the right, bend in the right knee, left foot, touch heel and toe. And it's a very easy exercise. Heel and toe, but you want your ankles to be strong and flexible. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, and toe. Now we shift our weight to the left. Bend in the left knee, right foot, heel, and toe. Heel, and toe. Make sure you're standing up nice and straight. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. One more time. Heel and toe. And then back to Wu Ji. That exercise right there, you should be doing it every day. And it's really simple to do. You can do it from the chair. You can do it standing. Doesn't matter. But you want those ankles to be very strong. That's part of the shuffling walk. Part of it is not lifting the knees, but part of it is flexibility in the ankles. So you want to keep your ankles very strong, very flexible. Okay? So weight shifts to the right, second ankle exercise, left foot, touching little toe, and then big toe. Bless you. Little toe, big toe, outside, inside, little toe, and big toe. Then, bless you again, weight shifts to the left. Hope you're not allergic to Tai Chi. Weight shifts to the left, right foot, little toe, and big toe. Outside, inside. Little toe, big toe, outside, and inside. And then we come back to center. If you want to do extra credit, do that one also every day. All right? You're just allergic to the dad jokes, right, Jim? Yeah. Good answer. All right. We're going to do our forward, backward hip exercise. So when we're doing this exercise, number one, make sure your chair is next to you, all right? Because this is going to challenge your balance. We're touching the heel in front of us without any weight on it. So the Chinese call that empty. And then we're touching the toe behind us, also empty. No weight on that toe. Make sure that your feet aren't stepping on a balance beam. There you go. That you're stepping wide when you do this. Also, keep the body straight. So as I touch heel and toe, I'm not doing this, but I keep my body nice and straight so all the movement comes from the hip. Okay? And pertinent to what we were just talking about. I love it, love it, love it. One of my Parkinson's friends, as you transition, you lift the leg and touch the toe. Lift the leg and touch the heel. Again, we want you in a habit of lifting your knee. Good job. It's going to test your balance, so make sure you have a chair next to you. Jim, you may want to scoot here. You got it? Okay. All right. So weight shifts to the right. You keep all your weight on the right. Empty left heel. Hands behind us or using the chair. And then we lift the knee as we transition. Empty left toe. Hands in front of us. Lifting the knee. Empty on the heel. Lifting the knee. Empty on the toe. Keep all the weight on the right. Make sure you have plenty of space between your feet. Lifting the knee, empty on the heel. And then lifting the knee, empty on the toe. And we come back to center. Make sure you're stepping wide when you do this. I often say, like, imagine your feet are on railroad tracks. So when you step backwards, make sure you step outside that railroad track, right? Not even on the same track, although that's okay, but it's even better to step a little wider. It's a little bit more stable, okay? Same thing, other side. Weight shifts to the left. Bend in the left knee, empty right heel. Hands behind us. And then we lift the knee as we transition, empty right toe, hands in front of us. Make sure you're stepping wide. There you go. Perfect. Lifting the knee, empty on the heel. And then lifting the knee, empty on the toe. Nice. Lifting the knee, empty on the heel. And then lifting the knee, empty on the toe. Trying to get my adrenaline going, huh, Jagan? And we come back to center. Awesome. Good job. Shake those legs loose. Good work. All right. Bow stance is next. I am stepping out empty. Have no weight in that front foot. All my weight is on the back leg. Then I'm shifting my weight 70%, 30%. Body stays straight from this direction, back stays straight from this direction. So if you're looking at me from the side, I'm doing this, not doing this, or doing this, okay? So where we were putting our foot out empty in the last exercise is the same thing you're going to do. You're just going to set the whole foot down, but still not have any weight on it, and then you shift your weight forward. And again, we're punching out that opposite hand, okay? So, hands loosely gripped at the belt line. Weight shifts to the right. stepping out empty with the left foot. Shifting left, punching right, bow stance. Keep that upper body nice and straight. Weight shifts back, and we come back to Wu Ji. Nice wide stance. Weight shifts to the left, stepping out empty right, setting the right foot down without any weight on it. Now shifting weight 70% of the way to the right, punching out left fist. Weight shifts back, and we come back to Wu Ji. Make sure your step beautiful. Weight shifts to the right. You anticipated what I was going to say. Weight shifts right, stepping out empty left foot. Shifting left, punching right, bow stance. Keep that upper body nice and straight. Weight shifts back. Haven't moved the feet yet. And then we come back to Wu Ji. Weight shifts to the left, stepping out empty right. Shifting right, punching left, bow stance. Opposite hand. Opposite hand. There you go. Weight shifts back, and we come back to center. It's hard to keep all the things straight, isn't it? One more time. Weight shifts to the right, stepping out empty left foot. Shifting left, punching right, bow stance. Nice. Opposite hand. Weight shifts back, and we come back to Wu Ji. Weight shifts to the left, stepping out empty right. Shifting right, punching left, bow stance. And then weight shifts back, and we come back to Wu Ji. Nice. Good job. So you guys have heard about the Tai Chi walk. That exercise starts to build us into the Tai Chi walk. So the first exercise is touching empty heel, empty toe. Then we do the bow stance, and that allows us to get to where the people have been talking about how great the Tai Chi walk is. It's not everything they say that it is. But doing that bow stance, you've done 2 of the 4 steps right there. Okay? All right. So let's have a seat. Let's do one more exercise, and then we'll do meditation. All right? So there's a gentleman named Dr. Yang Juin Ming. Pretty amazing guy. He's in his early 80s now. I got to train with him for one weekend, and I might get to train with him again in May for a weekend once again. But I talk with him specifically about people with Parkinson's. And he says that he believes that turning motion where we're carrying the ball side to side, similar to that, that's a good exercise. This leaning back and forth is a really good exercise. And there's also a forward backward one. We won't have a chance to get to that today. We have to be very careful doing that. We want to make sure our muscles are built up and supporting our spine well. But his theory is a lot of Parkinson's disease is we've lost the use of our muscles, our core muscles. Pardon me. And the way he explained it to me was back in the older days, when we were an agricultural society, that we used a lot of our abdominal muscles because men would get out there and plow the fields or, saw the wood or, use a hatchet or whatever. And so we're using our core muscles. Women were, traditionally did the laundry, which uses the core muscles, or the gardening motions. So we were constantly using our core muscles. And now we sit at desk and we don't move. And so we lost this ability for our core. And so he recommends the 3 exercises. We're going to do one of them today. And that's that leaning to one side, coming back, center, pause, and then lean to the other side. Okay? So again, we lean, nice, gentle stretch. Don't force anything, okay? So sitting up nice and straight and tall, interlocking the fingers together in front of me as long as that's comfortable for you. Bringing your hands up over the head, and then we lean to the left. And we hold that position, inhale and exhale, and then we come back to center and pause. and then lean to the right. Inhale and exhale, and then back to center. Leaning to the left. Hold that position. Inhale and exhale, and then back to center and pause, and then lean to the right. Again, hold that position. Inhale and exhale, and then back to center. We're going to do it one more time. Leaning to the left. Hold that position. Inhale and exhale, coming back to center, and then leaning to the right and holding that position. Inhale and exhale, and then we come back to center, back to prayer hands, and relax the hands down. Works the arms too, doesn't it? Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Any question about that exercise? All right. We'll have to stop there because I want to get some meditation in. Any questions about meditation before we start? All right. As you meditate, just as like when you do an exercise, you get better at the exercise the more you practice it. So like when we're doing Tai Chi, you see your skills growing because we're practicing and working on them. Meditation actually works the same way. You get better at meditating the more you meditate. And that's one reason why. Um, so if we're sick, or maybe the Tai Chi teacher makes us angry, whatever that is, that isn't the time to meditate. But you practice when things are easy, so that when you need to do it, when things are a little rough, sickness, anger, nervousness, anxiety, that when things get tough, then it makes it easier to meditate. Does that make sense? Just like we practice running a marathon. So we practice when all the conditions are right. And then marathon day, we have no control over the weather or the hills or anything like that. We have to run the course. So we do the practicing so when we're ready, when we need it, that we can use it. Does that make sense? So this is practicing meditation. So if you need to scoot back in your chair, that's fine. Keep your good posture. Sitting up nice and straight and tall, closing the eyes. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. And then as we exhale, our eyes are closed, clearing our mind of any thoughts, cleansing our mind. Again, inhale, filling our lungs with air. And exhale, cleansing the mind once again. Letting go of all those thoughts, things you thought about from this morning, things you're worried about for this afternoon. Let them all go for right now. Let's start with our feet. Taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through your feet, relaxing your feet. Inhale, filling our lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the feet, relaxing our feet. Onto our legs. Taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, we're breathing out through our legs, relaxing our legs, relaxing the upper leg, relaxing the knee, relaxing the lower leg. Again, big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, relaxing the legs once again. Feeling the legs go soft, nice and gentle. Onto the hips. Taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through your hips. Relaxing your hips. Relaxing your bottom. Inhale, filling the lungs with air. Exhale, breathing out through the hips, relaxing all those muscles surrounding your hips. On to the belly. Taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're exhaling through your navel, relaxing all the muscles at the front of the belly. Inhale, filling our lungs with air once again. Exhale, closing the eyes, relaxing all the muscles at the front of the belly. Onto our inner stomach. Taking a big, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're exhaling through your inner stomach, relaxing our inner stomach. That feeling that you get in the pit of your stomach when things aren't going right, that's the area that you're aiming for. Once again, big, deep belly breath in. Exhale, breathing out through the inner stomach, relaxing the inner stomach. Inhale, filling the lungs with air. Let's do that again. Exhale, letting go of our anxiety, letting go of our nervousness, letting go of our anger. And we'll finish up by breathing out through the skin. So taking a long, slow, deep belly breath in. As we breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through your skin, breathing out through the whole body. Any tension you're feeling, you're letting go of that tension, letting go of that nervousness. Let's do that again. Big, deep belly breath in. And as we breathe out, exhaling through the whole body, feeling the body go soft and gentle. I think that's probably a good place to stop right there. But look at how calm you guys are. Nice. It does get better. It does get easier when you try it. Boy, we timed that perfectly, didn't we? All right. Any questions about meditation? All right. Well, have fun watching the Olympics. Have fun watching the Super Bowl. I'm going to turn on the overhead light.